How would it make you feel to know that the delivery of your child one day could be a matter of life or death? Pregnancy is not the sunshine and rainbows that everyone makes it out to be, and I'm here to tell you why. There are so many different ways that someone could be pregnant, and so many different things that people should and need to consider if they have a high risk pregnancy or at risk of being high risk. High risk pregnancies can happen in so many different ways, but as I've said, so can your entire pregnancy. Most people pray for a traditional pregnancy where everything goes smoothly, no issues, baby's healthy, mom's healthy, everything's fine. But sometimes a woman can have a positive pregnancy test and show symptoms, but not be pregnant because of a very, very early miscarriage. This is called a chemical pregnancy. Another type of pregnancy is called an ectopic pregnancy. Ectopic pregnancies happen when the baby does not fully reach the uterus, so a lot of the time it attaches itself to the fallopian tube. It grows inside of your fallopian tube, and mostly it grows up to 12 weeks because these cannot carry to full term because they're not inside of your uterus. But this can cause your fallopian tube to rupture, and that can cause internal bleeding. And this internal bleeding can cause death if not treated immediately. Another type of pregnancy, which every woman I know is completely terrified of, is a cryptic pregnancy. This means that a woman is pregnant but has absolutely no signs, no positive tests, and doesn't know that she's pregnant until she goes into labor or is delivering the baby sometimes. So a lot of times, no one is prepared at all. And this is just boom, a baby. A lot of the times, high risk pregnancies can happen because of health issues that you have before you get pregnant, or issues you can develop while pregnant. For example, John Hopkins tells us that AIDS or HIV can be transmitted to the baby if the mother suffers from these diseases, along with many other like high blood pressure, diabetes, depression, or even your weight can contribute to it. For the baby, these things could be fatal or stick with them for the rest of their lives, like fetal alcohol syndrome. Fetal alcohol syndrome is when the mother drinks while they're pregnant with the baby, and this causes physical deformities and developmental delays in the child. While the physical deformities aren't always as prominent as they could be, depending on how long you've been drinking, sometimes you can tell. And one issue that is less common but still as severe is called hyperemesis gravidarum. This is the medical term for what happens when your cervix opens more and more as your baby grows inside of your womb, essentially causing the mother to be more dilated and more as she progresses throughout the 9 months. Effects of a high-risk pregnancy can also affect the mother long-term too. For example, preeclampsia can put the mother at high risk for heart disease in their lifetime. High-risk pregnancies also have a death rate that is much higher for the mother and the baby than normal pregnancies because of how abnormal their conditions are. Although it is encouraged for high-risk pregnancies to be closely monitored by your doctor, things could change in an instant, and you never know what could happen. So if you know anyone with an abnormal or high-risk pregnancy, I heavily encourage anyone to stay in close contact with a doctor or speak up about any concerns you may have, especially with your first pregnancy, because no question is a stupid question at all.